Welcome to Women at Halftime podcast, but not just for women, for you men too. If you're at mid-career or the halftime of life, our inspirational topics are not only fun, but also meant to help you maximize and write your next chapter. Right here with me, Deborah Johnson. Well, hello. It's great to be here with you today with our Women at Halftime podcast. I'm always thrilled to be able to bring some wonderful messages for you. And this week is a great one, finding contentment in work and in life. And I love this subject, especially as we are approaching holidays, and actually we are in holidays as this is being released. Contentment is a great word and a great theme to be able to cover. And so I hope you enjoy some of the points that I'm going to make here today, and you stay tuned all the way through. You also connect with me on with our weekly e-articles, the articles that come out, newsletters, goalsforyourlife.com/newsletter. Make sure you get those. And we have a lot of things coming up, a lot of music coming up, especially with holidays here, Christmas. And I put a lot of videos on those weekly notices. And also we have Hero Mountain Summit, heromountainsummit.com. That will be available, opened up to be able to start again in February. So you want to make sure that you get on that list and find that out as well. So finding contentment in work and in life. In the pursuit of finding contentment, happiness, and fulfillment, the image of reclining on a sun-soaked beach, like a metaphorical Margaritaville, that picture often comes to mind. And I'm sure many can just hum that tune from the popular song. But the allure of a stress-free existence, devoid of worries and work, it paints an enticing picture of contentment. However, finding contentment can coexist with an industrious and purpose-driven life, where meaningful activities, purposeful goals, and contributions to society play a pivotal role. And in fact, the writer of that song, Margaritaville, Jimmy Buffett, he supported many philanthropic causes, and he developed restaurants, hotels, and merchandise, and a successful Margaritaville brand. He didn't just stay laying down on the beach. I mean, he did a lot of work in his life. And true contentment, it is a delicate harmony and a state where one finds peace within ourselves without succumbing to stagnation. Contentment, it shouldn't be an excuse for idleness, complacency, or inactivity. And idleness is marked by a lack of initiative and effort, and it can stunt personal growth and development, preventing one from realizing their full potential. And complacency, on the other hand, is to be overly comfortable or satisfied with the present, often blinding us to the need for adaptation and progress. And it's similar to standing still in the sand when the ocean tide comes in with enough power to pull one under. I have felt that before, when you have your feet just kind of buried. It's pretty amazing. Inactivity, both physically and mentally, can cast a shadow on aspirations and hinder the pursuit of dreams. And it can blind one to the threat of danger, as we've seen in history. We'll cover a couple of those things. And there's risks and danger to all three of those characteristics of idleness, complacency, and inactivity. And we'll cover some of them here today. So let's start with the dangers of idleness. Charles Feeney, a remarkable figure in the world of business and philanthropy, am I saying that right? Philanthropy, I think that's right. He exemplified a unique blend of financial success, humility, and unwavering commitment to making a difference. And as a co-founder of Duty Free Shoppers Group, which many of us remember from those magazines that used to be on airplanes, I loved looking through those, Well, he amassed immense wealth, but he chose a life of simplicity and modesty. What set him apart was his profound contentment with his wealth and remarkable decision to give away more than 8 billion in his lifetime. 8 billion, that's a lot of money. Feeney's generosity was marked by both its magnitude and its humility. And he chose to remain anonymous in his philanthropic, there that word again, I did a better job this time, philanthropic endeavors, emphasizing the genuine desire to effect change rather than seek recognition. Despite his immense wealth, he actively engaged with the recipients of his grants, which was very smart because he wanted to ensure that his philanthropic contributions, that they were making a tangible and positive impact on the lives of those in need. And even in the face of substantial wealth, Feeney, he maintained this frugal lifestyle, demonstrating that finding contentment can stem from aligning one's actions with their values and aspirations, not just showing their wealth. And this philosophy resonates in the biblical verse, Luke 12:48. To whom much is given, much will be required. Many of you have heard this verse before, maybe from parents, underscoring the responsibility to use talents and resources wisely. And there are those, though, that discount the value of their abilities, particularly at mid-career or the halftime of life, feeling irrelevant, too old, or out of touch. But that is a false assumption. I constantly preach this. I constantly tell you this, and you need to believe that. It's a reminder that finding contentment can be found in the active pursuit of giving back, whether through there's that word again, philanthropy, of mentorship, or even acts of kindness, making a difference. That doesn't always require vast financial resources or even time. You don't have to give $8 billion. We don't have that. But it starts with a continuous desire and willingness to not be idle. That's the main point. So let's move on. Dangers of complacency. The sinking of the Titanic in 1912, that serves as a haunting reminder of the perilous consequences of overconfidence and complacency in the face of apparent grandeur and perceived invincibility. Boy, I'm doing such a good job with some of my pronunciation today, invincibility. Despite receiving multiple warnings about the presence of icebergs in the ship's path, both the crew and the passengers, they held this unwavering belief in the Titanic's sheer size and state-of-the-art technology, which led them to underestimate the imminent danger. The vessel's colossal dimensions as the world's largest cruise ship at the time, and the builder's assertion of it being practically unsinkable, further solidified this false sense of security. Tragically, this complacency resulted in a catastrophic maritime disaster, claiming the lives of 1,503 individuals when the Titanic collided with an iceberg, and subsequently it sank. In a parallel illustration, financial stability and plans for the future can often lull individuals into a false sense of security, and many may be confident in their financial standing. Maybe many aren't right now as they look at inflation, but investing and planning for the future with the belief that the stability of their strategies are going to be solid. But however, unforeseen shifts in the economy, as we've seen, or investment landscapes, it can rapidly alter this assurance, revealing the fragility of financial security and the need for adaptable strategies. Just be smart with this. Similarly, individuals, this is a big one, can put off crucial matters such as health considerations, legal arrangements, or philanthropic endeavors. There's that word again, believing that they have ample time ahead. However, unforeseen health issues and life events can arise abruptly, altering the course of their plans and leaving them with a sense of regret for having delayed those critical decisions. And I've personally known those who have put off bucket list traveling, many of those people actually, and putting off those plans only to find themselves faced with a change in their physical health that all of a sudden that affects everything. They can no longer travel, at least for a long while. So this highlights the importance of proactive and timely action with the pursuit of goals and not taking for granted the current situation and reality. Okay, so let's move on to dangers of inactivity. Wow, here's a big one. The Holocaust and the Nazi Germany stand as harrowing examples of the devastating consequences that can arise from widespread inactivity and a collective failure to act in the face of clear and abhorrent injustice. And anyone delving into the historical accounts of this dark period of human history, they can't escape the tragic realization of how crucial inactivity played a role in enabling the Holocaust and genocide against millions of innocent lives, particularly the Jewish community and other targeted minorities. And a powerful way to understand the depth of this tragedy is to visit the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. And here, a somber display of thousands of pairs of shoes, a stark reminder of those who were systematically stripped of their dignity and lives. It resonates deeply. And when we visited this museum, my husband and I, the picture of those shoes stacked up will forever be ingrained in my memory. The Holocaust's horrifying reality is amplified by witnessing the relics of those who unwittingly they faced the impending horror. And it's a poignant testament to the silence and inaction that allowed such atrocities to unfold, with over 6 million killed in mass shooting operations and killing centers with gas chambers. The international community's failure to respond during events such as the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin exemplifies this tragedy even further. At the Olympics, Germany put on a show where they portrayed a facade of unity and strength. You can probably see some of those videos today. And they diverted the world's attention from the persecution and the targeting of Jews and other marginalized groups. They took a lot of film, they put a lot of money and resources into this. And there were some who called for boycotting those games, but the movement ultimately failed and the show went on. And the absence of unified global action underscored the manipulation of public perception by the Nazi regime. We found this afterwards. The 9/11 Commission report, a comprehensive analysis of September 11th, 2001, it was another event that revealed a critical pattern of inactivity and oversight that had severe repercussions. And it exposed the fact that several of the terrorists involved in the terrorist attack had attended flight schools in the United States. And some individuals displayed suspicious behaviors that should have raised red flags, such as a lack of interest in understanding takeoffs and landings. Instead, they focused primarily on mastering the control of the aircraft mid-flight. Now, despite possessing this vital information, there were significant failures in sharing and analyzing the available data. And this glaring area of inactivity within intelligence agencies and law enforcement, it led to a catastrophic terrorist attack that claimed the lives of over 3,000 innocent people and forever altered the iconic skyline of the New York City with the destruction of the Twin Towers. I was able to visit New York shortly after this happened, and seeing the photos of those loved ones who were missing was heart-wrenching, just heart-wrenching. Well, let's apply all this. I don't mean to be so negative here, but we want to make sure that we aren't just being complacent here. Finding contentment while steering clear of idleness, complacency, or inactivity is similar to navigating a fine tightrope. Contentment provides the foundation for inner peace and mental well-being with an attitude of gratefulness for our present circumstances, for our achievements, and for our relationships. And it's a state of mind that fosters gratitude and a positive outlook that really leads to a higher quality of life and overall satisfaction, just this contentment that we have inside. But it doesn't depend on resting on our past successes. I mean, it's not an endorsement of remaining static, unmovable. And instead, it's an invitation to remain driven, engaged, and proactive in the pursuit of personal and professional objectives, even in a small way, even in very part-time. And this proactive and ambitious approach to life is the engine that propels us toward continuous growth, innovation, and meaningful contributions to society, which is ultimately a well-rounded and purpose-driven life. Wow, I hope this really resonates with a lot of you in finding contentment, especially if you are at mid-career, at the halftime of life. So many of you that are listening, you're wondering, what's next? Yes, I want to travel. Yes, I want to do things. But finding contentment is not always just sitting back as we have these pictures of retirement or of just saying, okay, well, I'm just going to kind of wait. Well, then a year goes by, then 2 years go by, then 5 years goes by. In pursuing those things that are meaningful, those things that are helpful around us, there are so many organizations, so many areas that can use skills, experience for those at mid-career, for those at the halftime of life, for those beyond the halftime of life. And all of those things just keep us there, the engine that keeps excitement going on in our lives. It keeps purpose going on in our lives, and that there's more to life than just kind of sitting back. And I know most people that listen to my messages, you are doing things, you are out wanting to learn, wanting to grow, wanting to keep growing in your personal life and also reaching out to others. And I thank you very much for doing that. And I hope I can encourage you even more in doing that, in not being idle, not being too content and sitting back. And of course, not just doing nothing, but to be able to find what really drives you. And sometimes in finding what drives you, you just need to start small and just do something. Just little by little. It doesn't need to be this passion-driven thing. Oh, this is why I wake up in the morning. It can be something very, very small. So I hope this has encouraged you today. Again, make sure you get our newsletters. You make sure you get all of our updates, goalsforyourlife.com/newsletter, and that you connect with us in a number of ways. Deborah Johnson speaker. I take a certain number of live events for my work, as well as online events. Love them. For DJ Works Music, people love the music. And also, of course, goalsforyourlife.com. I have a lot of online material there. And the HeroMountainSummit.com, make sure you check that one out. It's a 5-month program that will pretty much guarantee you'll be able to make a lot of changes in your life for the better, personal and professional. So I'll look forward to being with you again next time. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for joining us. It is because of our wonderful listeners like you that we keep going strong week after week. We'd love it if you'd share and follow us to not miss a single show and even write a review. You can also find all of our articles, products, and links at womenathalftime.com.